I just read a report that America is now in more credit card debt than ever before, more than $1.1 trillion. You know, my grandfather used to say, there's no stress like money stress, son. Well, are you feeling that right now? Let me help. You've got a friend in the mortgage business in me, and I've helped families just like yours save hundreds of dollars a month. Seriously, we've helped listeners to this podcast save up to $800 a month. At savewithconrad.com, we routinely help our podcast listeners consolidate all of their high interest rate credit cards into just one much lower monthly payment. Would you like to lower your monthly payments? Wouldn't it be nice to skip your next 2 house payments? Are you finally ready for some breathing room and peace of mind? Start saving money today with your friend in the mortgage business, me, at savewithconrad.com. You don't need perfect credit. You don't need money out of your pocket. And if we can't help you save some cash, we won't waste your time. You see, at savewithconrad.com, we don't say no. We say not yet, but here's how. We want to be your mortgage advisor for life. So find out how easy it is to finally get rid of your credit card debt once and for all, get a much lower monthly payment, and even skip your next 2 house payments. Let's find out how much money you can save for free at savewithconrad.com.
NMLS number 212, non-equal housing lender.
Savewithconrad.com. Hey, it's Conrad Thompson, and you're listening to What Happened When? With the voice of your childhood, Tony Schiavone. Tony, what's going on, man? How are you?
Hey, Conrad, what's going on, buddy? How are you? Better than you deserve?
You know it, man. Yeah. Excited to be with you. It's always fun to get together late night on a Monday night and watch a little wrestling. And today it's going to happen again. This time we're going back 31 years to February 12th, 1994. Man, it's an interesting time in WCW in 1994, is it not?
Yeah, it's pre-Hogan.
Yeah, it's pre-Hogan. It's pre-Nitro. And Ric Flair is the world champion once again. We've also still got the big gold belt around the waist of Rick Rude. We're on a countdown for Super Brawl. You may recall Vader has just lost the world title to Ric Flair at the main event of Starrcade, even though that wasn't the original plan. And this is a very interesting show, Tony, because Ted Turner's on this show. And it's the debut of Triple H in WCW. And a whole lot of other hilarious shit. I can't wait for us to watch this one. We hope you'll join us over on Peacock. This is going to be confusing because there's only 6 episodes of WCW Saturday Night on Peacock, but this is called Season 3, Episode 7. That sounds confusing, but trust me, it's on the cock. WCW Saturday Night, Peacock, Season 3, Episode 7, February of 1994. This should be fun today, Tony.
Yeah, if you're accounting like me and you click on Season 3, it says 6 episodes, but if you count down 4 boxes, that's the one. 4 boxes down.
4 boxes down, you'll see Rick Rude hitting the double buys, and we're going to have some fun today, man. Yeah. Getting in our Wayback Machine. Thank you for joining us live. If you're not with us live, what are you waiting for? Join us next week. You should be a part of this every week we do it. You can do that by joining us at Patreon. It's patreon.com/WHW Monday. Be a part. Join the gang. Have some friends. Have some fun. Have some wrestling. That's what it's about. Watching wrestling with your friends. And Tony, I'm locked and loaded on my side. Do you want to kick it old school and do a countdown just out of your own mouth today?
Yeah, I'll do a countdown. Yeah. If I can talk. Yeah. Ready? Ready. Yeah. I'm ready.
I'm ready when you are.
Here we go. WCW Saturday Night, February 12th, 1994, Season 3, Episode 7 on Peacock in 3, 2, 1, play.
Man, I love this old WCW Saturday Night Open. I always thought it was like the Terminator Open, but you called it the Sid Open, right?
Yeah, because it was Sid's arm that they used for the Terminator.
Right. Right.
So
here.
Yeah, right there. That was Sid. You could see Sid, and then there was his arm, and
it does look like RoboCop, kind of, doesn't it?
Yeah. We can't get rid of it, can we?
Oh, there it is, the big curl.
The big curl. Yeah, you know what? This. I know you said this great opener is cool. This didn't do anything for me.
Well, I just think it feels like it is so straight to VHS, late 80s, early 90s. Like it's appropriate for the time. Maybe that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Oh, how about it? Rick Rude cutting a promo to get us started. Man, what a look he had. Oh, speaking of looks, look at that goof. How would you describe that jacket with all that fringe?
Uh, that was over the top. I guess that's the best. Look at Arn Anderson going to team with
Man, Regal's in
Eric
great
Watts.
shape here. Oh, look, the Patriot Dale Wilkes is on this. We're going to see the Nasty Boys.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man, I forgot. Oh, is that Jungle Jim Steele? Oh, my gosh. What a fun show this is going to be.
Wow. And of course, we're going to see the debut of Terror Ryzing.
That's exactly correct, Tony Schiavone. I almost
Yeah.
said Excalibur. But yeah, we're going to see Triple H's national television debut. Long before he was Triple H, Terrorizing going to make his debut here at Center Stage in Atlanta. Getting started by hearing from Nick Bockwinkel that there is going to be a match coming up at Super Brawl in the Thunder Cage with Big Van Vader getting a rematch against the Nature Boy Ric Flair. Of course, he's interrupting you and Bobby the Brain Heenan. What do you think is of Nick Bockwinkel as an on-screen character / commissioner, if you will?
He looked the part, didn't he? I mean, Nick always looked like was very professionally dressed and looked the part, and kind of like what Jack Tunney looked. He always looked the part back as president of the WWF back then. So I always
I
thought,
totally agree.
yeah, always. But you know, Heenan always said he was a fucking idiot. But look at Heenan sticking his finger in his ear. You know, it was at one time me and Jesse the Body on Saturday night. But I think this is when Eric took over, right?
Yeah, this is definitely the Eric era for sure. I mean, I think he was in charge even before this, but I do know that it became a challenging situation with Hogan and Jesse Ventura. I think Eric was just trying to clear the way, and you know, it's not like Jesse was putting in a bunch of overtime. I mean, we've heard before that he'd just be caught taking naps at the building and shit. So maybe he rubbed people the wrong way. Was that your experience with Jesse, or did you have a different experience?
I loved working with Jesse. Jesse and I were friends, and it was and always will be one of the highlights of my career. Not only working with the man you're watching right now, Bobby Heenan, but working with Jesse Ventura was just a great part of my career. I always thought that Eric was saddled with a very, very big contract with Jesse.
Yes.
And Eric did not like that. They had to pay him so much money. So Eric kind of wanted to phase him out, if nothing else, to save money. I don't know what Jesse was making back then, but I know Eric didn't like it. I know JR didn't like it, of course, when Jesse first arrived. So I always saw it as Eric wanted to move him on because of the money.
Well, to be clear, he's still here through the end of the year or later in the year. I know he's going to be on tapings in like September, and I think by November we're doing hotline teases like, where is Jesse the Body Ventura? So we know that the die has been cast. Oh man, I love the Nasty Boys. I don't know why, but they're always going to be one of my guilty pleasure favorites. What'd you think of them with Missy Hyatt as their manager? I thought Missy looked great as part of the Nasty Boys.
Yeah, she was smoking hot here as a Nasty Boys.
Look at that young Scott D'Amore right there. Do you see that?
I see that. Look at that. Wow.
Scott D'Amore has the same grooming habits as Dutch Mantel here in 1990.
Yes, he does. Got a throw rug on his back.
We've all been there.
Mm.
Are you a hairless? I got a hairy back. Are you a hairy back guy?
No, I'm not.
You know, Dave Silva, the third man on our program, he's a hairless.
Really?
Yep. Mm-hmm. He can't even grow it on his peaches.
Wow.
Yep.
And you know, I don't understand that because, you know, well, my mother wasn't Italian, but my father is first generation American. His parents are from Italy, and usually, you know, Italians have a lot of hair, you know, all over them, you know, hairy old Italians, but not me.
Look at Scott D'Amore's head bouncing off the canvas. Brian Knobs doing him no favors here. Jeez.
No, you know, the Nasty Boys were, I don't know if notorious is the right word, but they beat up a lot of people because that's what they were. They were nasty. And this is what Dusty would call clubbering.
Collaborating in the corner right there, Tony Schiavone hitting the pay window.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, for all you guys who have joined us right now, thank you very much for joining us. We talked before we took the air here that we're just going to start at 10 o'clock Eastern time from now on.
Yeah, with WWE being on Netflix now, it's kind of hard for us to predict exactly when it's going to end. And as you correctly pointed out, it's on Netflix. How many people are actually going to finish it and then come on? Fuck them. Join us at the top of the hour. There you go. So moving forward,
exactly,
we'll be 7 minutes behind, Chris. We're going to start at the top of the hour.
Yeah,
on Monday nights from now on.
Yeah, so all you jackoffs who've joined us right now, basically, you don't watch that much of it anyway, do you? I mean, you would rather be with us than be with them.
You can always watch that shit after.
Always watch that shit after. Jason Taylor's joined us, JT, from the Austin, Texas area, who I'll be seeing this week. Well, I've seen this week, as a matter of fact. There he is. There's JT.
I'm having a good time watching old school WCW Saturday Night, but I want to know, did you happen to see over the weekend that I think it's in Spain. I'm not really sure, but there is a Spanish reality show that went kind of viral over the weekend for a pretty famous moment called Montoya, por favor. Are you familiar with this?
No.
Are you in the loop on Temptation Island as a concept? Have you heard of this before?
No.
So there was this reality show a few years ago, Tony, where you take two couple or a group of couples and you put them together and you put them in an environment where the couples have an opportunity to cheat on their spouse. And it's going to be filmed and it's going to be recorded. And they do this in a foreign country over the weekend. And they showed a guy watching his girlfriend have relations on national television. And he's really going through it, as you may imagine, and running down the beach in the rain with thunder and lightning behind him. And he's pretty upset, saying, Montoya, por favor. And then the girl, who feels bad for what she's done, comes and tries to find him and look for forgiveness. And it went pretty viral last week, and everybody was talking about it. And then over the weekend, Tony, or actually today on Monday, they ran the next episode. It happened to my man again with a different dude. Montoya, por favor. I think we should make that a shirt. That should be a shirt at lowestrules.com where it's just Miss Schiavone, por favor.
Yeah, that's such bullshit TV.
Of course it is. It's all just gimmicks.
It's gimmicks. It's not real, and they pull you in. Jeez.
I mean, my favorite is though that people want to believe it, like we kind of want to believe in wrestling.
Right? Yeah, right.
It's all the work. Everybody's work. Speaking of gimmicks, here is the master of gimmicks in this era, Johnny B. Bad. How would you describe the look here, bud?
God, I don't know how to describe that. That is Johnny B. Bad at the rodeo.
Could you imagine if you just were at Panera Bread eating lunch with Lois today and that dude walks in dressed like this, though?
Would be
awesome?
You would drop your sandwich.
Well, I'd say, hey, can you follow me to my house and help me decorate my living room? Because I bet you've got some great ideas I'd love to implement. Because this is a look. You could just tell that dude knows a thing or two about interior design.
Yes, he does. This is Johnny B. Bad doing the very best he can with the gimmick he was given. Give him credit for it, right?
As Bad Money Slim says, my man looks like a hairdresser. And speaking of hairdresser, boy, somebody's making some money because look who's in the front row.
And there's Bill Shaw beside him.
But yeah, so we got Bill Shaw, we got Ted Turner, we got Jane Fonda, and now a promo from the Nature Boy, who's got a V-neck in 1994. This is a cool look for 1994 for the Nature Boy. How would you describe those long flowing locks from Nate right there?
Those are a product of a lot of bleach and a lot of days at the hairstylist. That's what that is. And Gene, Mean Gene here. God, boy, do I miss him.
I mean, can you imagine how much fun he'd be having with wrestling today? The best.
He was something else. Gene was legendary, and I'm not talking about always in the ring. Anybody who hung out with him, and Ric Flair hung out with him some. Rick called him Doctor. And he was just an amazing guy. And he was, when he was first brought over here, when I say brought over here, when he first left the WWE and came to WCW, I remember I was sitting in my office and he walked down the hallway and I had heard he was coming. And I went, oh my God. And I talked to him and I said, Gene, I said, I need to tell you something here. I said, this is not like the WWF. It's a little looser here. It's not as organized. It's not as, well, it's not as big. So let me tell you, you got to kind of just dig in here and not get too upset about things not happening the way you remember them happening in Stamford, Connecticut. And Gene said, yeah, I'll be fine. Don't worry about it. But he did get frustrated many, many times. And so did Bobby Heenan, because they were used to things working the way they did there. And it was very organized up there. I know I worked up there for a year. And for us, smaller facility, we had that very small facility in the CNN Center until Eric took over. And then we moved out of the CNN Center, which was a smart move. But he got frustrated a lot. And it got to him a little bit, but it never at all affected his work, because he was still just absolute best. Really, really was. Dave McClay says, love the training videos with him and the Hulkster. That was back in the early days.
Yeah, man. The early days of WrestleMania. Like
Right.
That's 40 years ago. That was awesome stuff though.
Yeah. And I believe there was and I watched it when I went to WWF. I believe he and Hogan were going to be a team in Minneapolis. And they did some training videos where, Hulk came to get him and he was getting ready to have a big spread and breakfast and he had a cigar and Hulk says, no, we got to run. And it was really, really, really well done. So, yeah, man, he was, as Rajiv just told us, he was the man.
Hey, speaking of the man, you got to hang out with my man Cassio last week.
Yeah.
How was your experience hanging out with Cassio last Monday night?
Cassio is great. He's a funny son of a bitch, man.
Yeah, he is.
Has he moved out of your old house?
Oh yeah. He bought a house like 6 months ago.
Okay. So where am I? Gee whiz. Did you put the old house in the market? Has it been sold?
The house is on the market, but Cassio's the realtor, so it won't sell anytime soon.
Jungle Jim Steele.
I mean, what a fucking gimmick and a half this shit is right here,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
It could be Fred Avery. Fred Avery looks like it looks like me with my shirt off, kind of, really.
Well, I think that's more of a Cassio look, really.
Nah, he's a hairless too.
Yeah. Look at that.
I think that might actually be a requirement now that I'm thinking about it. I think all my friends are hairless.
Yeah. Jungle Jim Steele looks like a combination of I don't know, Jimmy Snuka and
Chippendale.
and
Look at those boots. Tarzan.
and the Renegade, maybe. I don't know. Tarzan.
I'll tell you what, it looks his work looks like shit in my opinion.
Well, yeah, but he looked good, right?
I'm not even going to say that. I think he looks awkward. Even Ted knows this is not very good. This is cheesy.
Yeah, yeah. And James like, what the fuck are you watching, Ted? You want a blowjob when I get back?
Oh God, dude. What are we? Oh, this just that just looks weird, man.
Yeah.
That was not good.
Yeah.
Not a handsome fellow.
No.
How would you describe what he's doing here? I mean, this looks like is this his first time in a wrestling ring? I mean, that looks like what Jimmy Sorensen did in the ring when he was here in Huntsville 2 weeks ago.
He's trying to be the Ultimate Warrior. Here's what he's trying to be. He does.
Well, that was not it, bud.
Yeah.
I don't know what I was expecting, but that's I don't even know how Lou Thez is upset with that.
Hey, so give me a time code here. Where are you?
Well, I'm not where I wish I was. I'll tell you that, because I'm 15 minutes in. I'm 14:59, 15, 15:01, 15:02.
Yeah, that's me.
And now we've got Mean Gene in the front row. To his right shoulder, on our left, is the one and only Ted Turner. Who is sitting behind Ted? These are people who were in suits. I assume those are Turner people.
Yeah, they got to be Turner people. Now, as I said, Bill Shaw is next to Gene. You can't see him. And then on down from Bill Shaw is Bob Dew, who worked in the front office as well. Yeah. And those are the only ones I know. These must be, one of them could be Ted's son. I don't know if he had a son or a daughter, but most of them are TBS office stooges, See, they're hanging on every word Ted says.
Oh man, so intently.
Yeah.
Which I get. I mean, shit, if I was in Ted's orbit, I'd be trying to learn something too.
Yeah. He was ahead of his time, wasn't he? I mean, if you
Dude,
think
you
about
want to talk about a real maverick, a real
yeah,
cowboy, a real renegade. What a
yeah,
visionary that dude was.
real TV pioneer, no doubt about it.
They're going to break. We are not. We've got the World Television Championship match coming up. I see people, Bobby, asking for the time code. We're watching the Super Brawl Control Center here at 16, 14, 15, 16, 17, 16, 18 is where we are right now, Bobby. Hey, well, they're doing a Super Brawl Control Center. I say we do one for AEW this Saturday night. It's AEW Collision Grand Slam from Australia. We're going to have Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay teaming up against Takeshita and Kyle Fletcher. We've got the Death Riders taking on Cope and Jay White in a Brisbane Brawl match. We've got Mercedes Moné versus Harley Cameron for the TBS Championship. We've got Tony Storm and Mariah May for the Women's World Title. And we've got Okada and Buddy Matthews for the AEW Continental Championship. This is a big-time card. I'm looking forward to it. Is there one match that stands out above all the rest that you're looking for, Tony?
Well, I want to see Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay team together. I think everybody who loves wrestling and loves what we do has to love those two kids together. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to that. But, man, Tony Storm and Mariah May.
Oh, man, they're going to be something. What a great story. One of the better stories in AEW history, really.
Yeah, it really was. And both of them are such great performers and have done so much for the women's division. So I'm looking forward to that one, I think, more than anything else. Also, how about Harley Cameron's halftime?
Oh, dude, it was so great. I actually watched it with Megan.
Mhm.
You know, we're both big Harley Cameron fans. And the idea that she walks around with a fucking puppet, dude,
Yeah,
it just got all over me. Super talented. She's
Yeah.
over like Rover. I
right.
even saw Dave Meltzer say it was akin to Ric Flair and Sting at the first Clash of the Champions. Mercedes Moné advised him to shut the fuck up. That made me happy.
Yeah, that's good stuff. So I'm looking forward to it. I flying out of Austin into LAX, and then from LAX flying into Brisbane, and that's 14 hours and 45 minutes of a flight.
You going to take some sleepy night medicine?
I'm going to take a little melatonin,
Mm-hmm.
maybe some Tylenol PMs. Who knows?
Well, I hope you get some good rest. I know that flight is no joke, but I know you're going to have a great time. And I, for one, am looking forward to it. It's going to be a big day at my household because you've got the #1 ranked Alabama Crimson Tide hosting the biggest basketball game in the history of Tuscaloosa as Auburn comes to town. It's the same day as the NBA All-Star game, and immediately following that All-Star game, it's time for some AEW from down under. It's going to be a big Saturday. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's going to be a big weekend, and of course, it'll be on Max as well. And we are looking forward to that. We've had a lot of good feedback being on Max, and I'm very, very excited about that. And Alabama's #1, huh?
I couldn't believe it, dude. When the rankings came out as we're recording earlier today, it was like, okay, didn't see this coming. Count me in.
Yeah, SEC basketball has gotten pretty darn good.
The tournament's going to be nuts this year.
Yeah.
We're still watching old school WCW here from 1994, and you're in for a treat. We've got the Patriot Dale Wilkes coming to the ring here, and I kind of forgot he was even here in 94.
So
but this will be fun because it's Lord Steven Regal, our television champion, and Regal's in phenomenal shape here against Dale Wilkes, who looks like $1 million. This is a fun match no matter the year, dude.
Yeah, this is going to be good. Of course, anything Regal did back then was good. Just the way his demeanor, the way he approached the match. Big, as you know, I think we all are big Regal fans. I want to be a Patriot, and I want to learn how to spell too. God bless you.
What a great look from Regal, man.
Yeah.
Regal's whole presentation was just a vibe, wasn't it?
Yeah. Disgust.
Yes.
The mannerisms.
Unfortunately, sadly, Del Wilkes is no longer with us. And before he left us, he made it clear that he was not a fan of mine. He was pretty loud and proud about that on social media. But I think he and I could get together and we would probably agree that Magic Spoon is awesome. As a kid, I loved eating cereal, but as an adult, we all realized we don't need all that sugar. We need some more protein. And that's when my wife found Magic Spoon. It's a nostalgically delicious cereal that tastes just like our childhood favorites, but without the sugar and with a ton of protein. And if you're already a Magic Spoon fan, we've got big news. Magic Spoon has turned their super popular cereal into high protein treats that are light, crispy, and taste just like those classic crunchy cereal bars. Magic Spoon's brand new treats are so delicious, they've already become our go-to favorite snack here in the household. You're going to love it. And Megan can feel good about it because when it comes to the Magic Spoon cereal, every serving has 13 grams of protein, 0 grams of sugar, and 4 grams of net carbs. So you can feel good about what you're eating. The most popular flavors are fruity and cocoa, but there's so many more. Like my man, Dave Silva, he likes to combine peanut butter and cocoa. He calls it peanut butter cup. But when it comes to the brand new treats from Magic Spoon, well, those are crispy, they're crunchy, they're airy, and also an easy way to get 12 grams of protein on the go. And now for the first time ever, Magic Spoon treats are available in grocery stores with delicious flavors like marshmallow and chocolatey peanut butter. But I double dog dare you, try the double chocolate. You're going to absolutely love it. I just wiped mine out. I re-upped, and I can tell you how to do the same and get a good deal. Get $5 off your next order at magicspoon.com/WHW. You can even look for Magic Spoon on Amazon or in your nearest grocery store. That's magicspoon.com/WHW. You'll get $5 off. Magic Spoon. Hold on to the dream.
Magic Spoon's also available at Costco. Big boxes of them. The treats are.
Now, of course, if you get it at Costco, it doesn't help our show. So fuck Costco and go right now to magicspoon.com/WHW.
Well, you announced that you could get them at grocery store. Didn't you announce that?
I did announce that.
Okay,
but
so
they won't be able
off.
to track our order and they might not renew. So just buy it at Costco and fuck doing ads on this show completely. What do I know? Do what the fuck you want, but do it with Magic Spoon.
Now I know where the late Del Wilkes' wife thinks about you the way he does.
Yeah, because I like to make money when I work. It's a fucking gimmick I'm doing. I don't know. They send those gimmicks to my house every month called bills. They want me to send the money back.
You like to make money? Well,
it's a thing I've become known for.
Are you sure? Are you sure
that I'm not sure that I like to make money?
Mm-hmm.
It might actually be near the top of the list of my favorite things.
Okay. Just want to make sure that we're on the same page here.
Hey, Bad Money Slim wants to know, serious question. Sam's or Costco, Tony?
Well, I've been to Sam's more than Costco.
That wasn't the question.
Okay.
What do you prefer?
I prefer Costco.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do they bring the
boom?
Oh, I see. You know where we're going.
Yep, absolutely.
So does Costco get a big
boom?
Yes.
Okay.
Bad Money Slim's a Sam's guy. Of course, he's
it's Bad Money Slim. He's a heel. Hey, Del Wilkes, I'm sorry, I don't know. When did he pass? Recently?
A few years ago, yeah.
Okay.
I'll look up his exact date of death for you. June 30th, 2021.
Wow.
So almost 4 years ago now.
Could have been a COVID thing.
No, will you fucking stop?
It could be. I mean, people dropping like flies during COVID. You know that.
You don't think it was the 400 pills a day? Just guessing.
I don't know.
I mean, I don't know for sure. But
you know what? It's funny you should say that because I have a member of the family who has to take steroids for an illness, right?
Roll Tide on that. Is this Jeff Jarrett? Because I know he's on the gimmick.
No, and I was talking to Lois about how many wrestlers passed because of steroids, right? Anabolic steroids. And without going down a list and trying to, getting families pissed off but there were a lot. I mean, what's a good number, do you think, that pro wrestlers that passed away as a result of taking steroids?
I'm not sure. I mean, in reality, I know we're just busting balls and having fun, but Del Wilkes passed away of a heart attack. And you would assume, since he's admitted to being a cocaine abuser and steroid abuser that he
That had
probably
to
put a
do it.
lot of stress on his heart. Yes.
Yeah, and that's one thing that anabolic steroids did. It put a lot of stress on your heart.
Yes.
Right. So sure, I get that, but it's kind of like it's almost like smoking. Like, yeah, you're enjoying yourself now, but it's going to get you.
Right.
So anyway,
Well, listen, he was a great wrestler, great performer. Of course, I'm just tongue in cheek busting balls, but he did do, I think later in life, he worked with a lot of people in recovery, and he really turned his life around, and I thought had a successful life after wrestling. I know he had, and I'm not saying this to be funny, he was a successful salesperson, and I hold that in high regard. So
right, sure.
I know he wasn't a fan of my stuff for whatever reason. Maybe he was just trying to court attention online or whatever, but I didn't take it personally. I thought we were just having fun, and then unfortunately passed away.
Yeah, and not only that, Del Wilkes was pretty cool guy backstage too. So had that going for him, and not all wrestlers have been pretty cool guys backstage throughout the years.
Dave Silva, I guess, has done the research while we were live here, and he says 946 and a half wrestlers have died of steroids. So I think the half was a little person.
Okay.
I don't know where he got the half. I would have just rounded up, but what do I know?
Wow, 946. Holy smokes.
He made that up.
Oh, he did?
Do you think Dave Silva does any research or has any inside track on anything?
No.
Except for what time Whataburger closes.
Yes. Dave, you son of a bitch, put yourself on here, you lying fucker. Let's get Dave on here.
Now he says, what a fucking moron.
Where did you come up with that number?
I'm just getting some random number and putting a 0.5 on it, see what happens. Throw it out there. I'm the Wikipedia of WHW.
That 0.5 was Hornswoggle.
He's still alive. He's not dead.
I know that. I was thinking he's brain dead because we know he's brain dead.
I thought you were going to say it was Sky Low or something.
No, Dylan. We had a lot of fun with Dylan on this podcast, didn't we? At one time.
Well, if you say his name 3 times, he'll appear. So be careful. Hey, by the way, I want to remind everybody that the show we're watching was filmed on February 1st, 1994. And what's interesting about this is in that opening match, we saw the Nasty Boys pick up a win over Bobby Walker. And it says, and an unknown. The match was never televised since the champion shot on Walker with Jerry Sags trying to bite him in the face. And after the match, the Nasties jumped Walker backstage until the fight was broken up by Blackjack Mulligan. The match was said to have aired February 19th, but the champions were paired up with a new team without Walker the following night, and the match was retaped. So that's what we wound up seeing, which was the Nasty Boys beat Matt Shepard and Scott D'Amore. But I want to ask you, do you remember hearing about Jerry Sags trying to bite Bobby Walker in the face?
No, I don't remember that, but I do remember hearing about a scuffle that was backstage with the Nasty Boys. And I guess that's the one with Bobby Walker that I remember hearing about.
Well, they also got into it once upon a time with Scott Hall, but that was years later.
But again, you have to realize that when a show goes on and there's a scuffle backstage, I'm doing the show. So if it happened before, like, the Vader Paul Orndorff thing, which happened in this building, then it happened right in front of me. I would have seen it, but if it happens during the show,
As a reminder, Bobby Walker is one of the fellows who sued WCW for discrimination.
Right.
He would say that African-American wrestlers were made to look loud, obnoxious, pompous, and shiftless. And in April of 2001, the judge ruled that WCW had not committed fraud or breached contracts of the plaintiffs, and that the discrimination lawsuit could proceed. And eventually they settled out of court. I do think that's interesting, though, that Walker, Sonny Ono, Hard Body Harrison, like, you wouldn't think those guys have much in common, but getting a payday out of WCW, good for them, I guess.
Yeah, if it works for you, go for the lottery, right? Was Sonny Ono was in that? I didn't even
Oh
know
yeah,
that.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I was even under the impression. I mean, I've actually straight up heard this. If it was under $100,000, WCW wouldn't even try to challenge it; they would just settle.
Yeah.
So if someone sued for say $80K, they'd just be like, just cut them a check. Who gives a shit? Which I thought was interesting. Like, wow, really?
Well, when they owed WCW owed me for a couple of pay-per-views because I was paid extra on pay-per-views back then. And when I went to the WWF, I remember telling Bruce Pritchard, and Bruce Pritchard told Vince or someone, and the WWE's lawyer got in touch with Jim Herd, and I got the money pronto.
Mm.
It wasn't much. It was like $3,000, right? It wasn't like $80,000 or anything like that. But I remember thinking, wow, that happened quickly. And it did.
Speaking of quickly, boy, that Super Bowl was over pretty fast, wasn't it? What a routing the Eagles put on the Chiefs. What'd you think of that, Tony?
Didn't watch it.
Oh, geez. Are you serious? You didn't watch the Super Bowl?
Did not watch one down. I went to bed about 9:30 and looked, and it was like 40-6 or something like that. And I thought, well, this one's over. I scrolled social media, the one social media I do look at, and that is Instagram. And I saw where the Eagles fans booed Taylor Swift. And I thought, well, there you go. But no, I didn't watch it at all. And I take it you did?
Oh, I did. Yeah. I hosted and we had a little Super Bowl party, and I thought it would be a fun game, and it was the drizzling shits. And I too wish I had not seen 1 second of the second half because it was over. Speaking of over, we know Steve Austin's going to be over, but it's hard to see it right here. Here he is with his white jeans and his brand new out of the pack yellow button up shirt, his long flowing locks, a gimmick and a half standing behind him with Colonel Robert Parker. But what he's about to introduce, Colonel Robert Parker, that is hilarious. They're teasing a big match and a big program with Brian Pillman, and he's going to bring in from the continent of Asia, the Mongolian Mauler.
Oh, God.
And he's going to have this fella come out who I have to admit, I did not remember what this guy looked like at all. And when he poked his head out, I just laughed out loud. I know I shouldn't have, but I did. My man started wrestling in 1980. He's going to call it a career in 1994 here, thankfully. But when you see this dude, I just sort of remind you, I think this cat was only like 33 years old right here when this is happening. Look at this look. How would you describe this shit?
Well, he's trying to be the Mongolian Stomper or trying to be one of the Mongols or whatever. Good God.
His
Now,
other gimmick names were Crazy Pete, which actually fits him. Peter
Crazy
Flowers,
and
Oscar Strongbow.
oh, he's on his knees in front of. Oh, shoo. Okay. Ooh.
Yeah, you're going to see Steve Austin rear back with a sledgehammer. How ironic is it? We're going to see Triple H make his debut and Stone Cold has a sledgehammer. He breaks it very gingerly over his stomach and then hops up like a goof. I mean, look at this. How would you describe this? This guy looks like a mole on someone's ass, but here he is in real life.
Got those black contact lenses in. Looks like he's.
I mean, he looks like a germ for an antibacterial thing you use in your toilet to clean your toilet. That's what he is. He's the germ from a toilet cleaner.
This is amazing stuff right here. God, I don't remember him, and now I know why.
Oh my God. That's Dave Silva's favorite wrestler, believe it or not.
What, the Mongolian?
I mean,
whatever?
it looks just like him. He dressed as that for Halloween last year.
Yeah.
Every day of October, he just wore that to the office.
Wow.
And here he comes, terrorizing.
Oh, here we go.
Look at the way they even spelled it. Terror.
Yeah.
Chris says it's the snot from the Mucinex commercial. It is. How would you describe the look here with the little short overcoat thing he's wearing? He looks like Lord Farquhar or something. And he doesn't even come out second, terrorizing.
Mm-hmm.
Keith Cole comes out second. He gets the star entrance.
Wow. Hey, maybe this look is what began Triple H, Hunter Hearst Helmsley. Oh, Keith Cole looks like one of the surfing dudes.
Yeah, I mean, he looks like Johnny Ace and Shane Douglas.
He sure does.
They did a
Right.
6-man, but he's part of the Cole twins. He's the senior Cole twins. And by the way, this was supposed to be Terra Ryzing's tryout match, but it went so well, they said, fuck it, put him on TV. But they never even bothered to figure out how he spelled his name. Of course, he spelled it Terra, not Terror.
Right.
And Ryzing was Ryzing. Get it? Not rising like the sun's rising, apostrophe at the end. It's a little silly, but it is what it is. But you can tell just based on the look, if you blink, that looks like a slimmed down Lex Luger with those boots and trunks that Tara's sporting here.
Right. This is some amazing stuff right here.
Considering what it would become, absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, you're talking about you're talking about the boss now, right?
I mean, one of the most powerful men in the history of wrestling.
Right.
Making his debut in front of a few hundred fans while there's a mom back there titty feeding her baby.
Wait a minute. Where was that?
Well, you'll see it. I mean, she's got a 3-course meal she's cutting up for that little bastard. I mean, just happening right across from the hard cam. Just what the fuck are we even doing? By the way, that was the Patriots' first appearance on WCW Saturday Night. So that was a big opportunity and another big debut for WCW, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I don't know that you saw this, but actually, I guess we'll go through the finish because the finish of this match is something you got to see to believe.
Okay.
Because I haven't seen this in a long, long time. I did find it maybe 15 years ago, maybe more than that. But I remember seeing this once before, but I kind of forgot what his finish was. Is there any chance you remember what Terra Ryzing's finish was when he first started in WCW? I bet you don't get this.
No.
You're going to like this, dude.
Is it going to be a figure 4?
It's even better than a figure 4.
Okay.
Because, I mean, don't get me wrong. I can appreciate the throwback nature of it, but you would almost never see it on television today for a good reason. As a finish, I mean. And if you did, they would at least alert the cameras because the way it's shot, you're just like, I don't know what the fuck just happened, but I guess it's over.
Okay. You know, he not only had a good look, man, it was a pretty good working punch too.
He was always pretty good. I mean,
very good here.
Even for him to be, you know, really new, really green, really still learning. But again, trained by Killer Kowalski, he's getting his opportunity. And by the way, I think so was the Mongolian Mauler. I think he was trained by Killer Kowalski.
Yeah. So listen, for all you guys out there, I'm not putting Triple H over because he runs the WWE. I'm just saying it's a pretty good match here.
Oh, who thinks you're putting up? We know you're AEW for life, bud.
Yeah, I know, but you know, there's some jackoffs there.
I think you're allowed to say complimentary things about people who work for the other company.
Of course I am, but you know, people are always looking for shit. One of them is Adam Demouy, who has joined us here.
Oh,
yeah, that's the one. So he's on here with us. Adam, by the way, and could see his wife had a beautiful little baby girl. And
all right, so he missed with the knee, and here it comes, I believe.
Okay.
No, he's still working it up, softening it up. He's going to apply it. Yeah, here we go.
All right.
It's an Indian deathlock, cuz. Look at this. He just dives down, looking away from the camera, nowhere near the hard cam.
Uh-huh.
And that's it. Call for the bell. I don't know why, but it just, for a debut finish, it's like, man, it ain't the pedigree.
No, it's not. But Nick Patrick's calling for the bell, and there it is.
Everybody starts somewhere.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
And by the way, we're going to be starting somewhere in a minute because I can't believe this is real, but we've got Eric Watts and Paul Roma working with Arn Anderson and Paul Orndorff. I mean, think about what a ragtag group of folks that is. You've got some of the best of all time and some where you're like, wait, what? Why are we doing that? But that's what makes wrestling so fun, and not just fun for us, but fun for everybody, including the ladies. I recently saw a clip of a lady enjoying a little wrestling, and I wanted to, share that video with you here today, Tony. Let's take a look.
Son of a bitch.
What are you in here doing, Graham?
Norman Reigns. Yeah, that's the man. Fucking wrestling. I'm watching WWE.
It's 3 o'clock in the morning.
I don't give a fuck if it's 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm watching my fucking wrestling.
I don't know why that made me laugh so much, but it did. Norman Reigns. My fucking wrestling. I'm watching it.
Well, you know what? God bless her.
Hey, who's that guy from Turner wearing a t-shirt that says Paula on it? That's got to be a Turner guy.
Oh yeah, that's God. What's his name?
I mean, he's wearing a
Yeah,
tie.
he was one of our accountants. God Almighty, Dick somebody.
Dick Cheatham?
That's it, Dick Cheatham. Good
That's
call.
Dick Cheatham in the Paula shirt.
That's Dick Cheatham. Yep. Good
How
call.
about when Arn was tagging with Eric Watts, he's like, Eric, why don't you just go ahead? Just walk about 8 paces in front of me. I'll see you in the ring.
You're exactly right.
I'll see you out there, bud. Just go ahead and head that way. See you in there. Hey, I talked to Eric Bischoff over the weekend. You know, he got to go to center stage for the first time in a long time.
Really?
There was an MLW taping over the weekend at center stage, and he was telling me how cool it was that he was back there for the first time in forever. And of course, Brock Anderson, Arn's son, works for MLW. And Brock was asking him, hey, do you remember where the Vader Paul Orndorff thing happened? And I don't know why, but the idea that Eric Bischoff is explaining that to Arn Anderson's son at center stage in 2025 for an MLW show was like, man, what is up and down? What is left? What is right? What a world this is.
Yeah, that's one thing about wrestling. You just never fucking know.
Yeah, right.
You never fucking know in wrestling. You know, unfortunately, I hate to say this. I hate to bring this down, but that video that Paul Orndorff, you know, when he was in the hospital or nursing home or whatever, that's just burned into my memory. And I hate to say that, but when I hear Paul Orndorff's name and I think about how great of a wrestler he was and how great he looked, how tremendous of a performer he was through the decades. And then I saw that, I guess his son posted that, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I can't get that out of my brain. And I wish I could. Just.
Didn't you love the way Arn would creep over like a crab walk to the corner? I don't know why, but it always made me laugh when he'd take that real wide stance.
Yeah.
Sort of crab walk over.
Yeah, he walked like a crab. Marty Lundy.
One of the all-time greats, man. And so was Paul Orndorff. Can you imagine, like, in a different era, in an alternate universe, an alternate timeline, Paul Orndorff could have been, he was already a megastar. I mean, he's in the fucking main event of the very first WrestleMania, but in an alternate universe, if he'd have come around just a few years later, I think he would have been an even bigger star, Tony.
Oh yeah. Yeah. There is no doubt. I mean, you know, he already had, as we know, he had the nerve problems. He had, his left arm was bigger than his right arm, but man, he always looked great. He was a great performer. He was a tremendous coach at the power plant. He took no bullshit from anybody, including Vader. And he just, he was a man's man, buddy. And I'm so glad I got to work with him. Really, really am.
Hey, Bobby's with us live here, and he wants to ask you a question about Australia, Tony. He says, how far in advance does the production staff arrive for international shows like this one?
Wow.
That's something you and I have never talked about, but, you know, normally they try to load in the day before, but when you've got to grow literally across the world, man, that's got to be a whole new group of challenges, right? How does that work on a show like this, Tony?
You know what? You have to use production equipment that's already in the country. You don't send your production equipment over there. This is something that is, I guess, rented or leased by us. So it's already there. We just bring people over is what we do. And when do they arrive? It depends on when we can get into the building. We have two types of load-ins. It's load-in the day before, which is optimal to get everything set. But there's also called a day of load-in, which means a lot of times they'll have to get there like first thing in the morning. I mean, we're talking about even like, for instance, if there's a show before, let's say there's a hockey game before we have to load into this arena. We have to wait till hockey is cleared out the night before and everything is set up for us to load in. And sometimes by the time we get there on a Wednesday, let's say for a Dynamite, they are still setting things up. It's called the day of load in, which is very stressful. So I don't know for international show. I don't know if we've got a day of load in or if we have a day before load in. That just determines on what the building has available for us to do. So there's no really set rule about when we load in for international. I do know that Wembley, we obviously were load in probably a couple days before, or maybe the day before. I think, if I'm right, I think Taylor Swift was in there before us last time. Matter of fact, I know she was. And so we had to scramble a little bit, but that's the way it is.
Well, you can put your load in anytime you want, thanks to our friends at Blue Chew. Not really.
Wow. Was that
I mean, they're not a sponsor this week, so we're not doing it. But it was right
okay?
here. I had to do it. You know.
Wow. How about that? How about that?
What'd you think of the television title? We're hearing from Bad Money Slim that he thought Mr. Wonderful had the best television title. It's the same one that we saw Lord Steven Regal with earlier. I guess there were two versions of that belt, a nickel belt and a gold belt. Did you have a favorite version of the TV title? I kind of like the old classic Arn Anderson, Tully Blanchard, like the red one. That's the one.
The red one. That's the one I remember all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I guess was the nickel on the red, right? Or the
Yes.
silver? Yes. To me, that's the world television belt.
Which I've actually heard has been located.
Really?
I've yet to see it.
Okay.
But I had a guy, this is a real sentence. A private investigator called me last year and said, "Hey, I found it."
What?
I know, it was really random. And he says he's going to produce it this year, but he says he knows where it is. And he told me where it is. And I thought, well, that doesn't sound right, but we'll see.
So this private investigator is also a belt nerd, apparently.
Believe it or not, he actually does some work with Dark Side of the Ring. And he called and was trying to run something past me. And I was like, nah, that sounds like bullshit. I don't know about that. Then he called another time and said, "Hey, I think I found the belt." And I'm like, wait, what? So we'll see.
Jesus.
But I'm like, you're hunting belts now? Okay, cool.
God.
Go find the WrestleMania 5 world title. Appreciate it.
Yeah. So are they still in production to do those things? Dark Side of the Rings?
Oh yeah, there's a new one coming out next month. A whole new season.
Who's in the season?
Ask Wikipedia there. I'm going to cough.
Okay.
Wikipedia, jump on the show and tell him about it.
Hey guys, here in the Wikipedia studios. This month, Dark Side of the Ring. Let me just pull it up here. Just typing it up 1 second.
Okay. Great sound effects, Dave.
The story of hold on. Jane Fonda's night in WCW. That's
he's fucking around. Okay, thanks a lot.
It's I like it. Go ahead, keep going.
It's coming in. I got another one coming.
It's Hell in a Cell, Vader, Tony Atlas, Ludwig Borga, Billy Jack Haynes, Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert, Superstar Billy Graham,
yikes,
Daphne, the original Sheik, Muhammad Hassan. So there you go.
Wow, I'm bored.
You're bored of what? You don't want to hear about Tony Atlas? You don't want to hear about Big Van Vader?
No.
You don't want to hear about Daphne?
Yeah, in God's green earth.
You don't want to hear about the original Sheik?
No. You
don't want to hear about Superstar Billy Graham?
I want all those guys who put that show together to go fuck themselves. How does that sound?
All right, there you go. Well,
okay.
You can just say that next time, you know?
Yeah.
The Billy Jack Haynes story is going to be crazy. I've heard one of the timelines for that from the private investigator, and I was like, or one of the angles, and I'm like, wait, what? That sounds a little crazy, but I don't want to give a spoiler here on the show. But I will say, folks are going to be talking about it.
What is a private investigator doing in this show? What is it? They got to sneak around, and they got to sneak. The producers got a private investigator sneaking around for storylines. They're a bunch of fucking sneaks.
Well, some people would call it investigative reporting, Tony.
No, it's a sneak.
What does a sneak mean? They're not
It's a
trying to
private,
catch
okay.
snitch, you know,
Investigative reporting is a reporter. A private investigator is a guy who sneaks around. They're sneaks.
he's not trying to find somebody sucking cock in a parking lot. That's usually what private investigators are done for. Is my husband getting BJ's at Costco? Is he more of a Sam's Club guy or a Costco guy when he's outsourcing his BJ's outside the home? I
Double
think he's buying them at
chocolate
down at
cookie
Sam's
dough.
Club. I mean, that's what private investigators are normally for. Montoya, por favor.
Oh,
You gonna suck some cock in El Sam's Club-o? You gonna play with La Ding Dong in La Costco?
what has TV become, for crying out loud?
Well, listen, we got to get to the bottom of, who did Vader try to send that picture of his dick to? Remember when he sent a picture out of that little motherfucker with a helmet on it? Let's see if we can get Dave Silva to go find a picture of Vader's dick and Photoshop the Mastodon helmet on it.
Okay.
And see if we can share it here on YouTube in a way where we won't get kicked off.
Wait a minute. Hang on a second. That's actually a story. He sent his penis picture.
He posted it on Twitter.
Vader did.
Vader posted his hog meat on Twitter.
No.
Why would I make that up? Doesn't that feel like a random thing for me to make up?
No, but you know what? You make up shit all the time.
Just tell me you want to see Vader's dick. Just say that. Look right in the camera and say, I want to see the little Mastodon.
I don't.
It's time. It's time. It's Vader dick time. He held the balls back like this. He took his fat pad and he pushed it around the base to make it look a little bigger. Yeah. You know what kind of party it is. It's a dick selfie party. He feels no pain, my little Mastodon. I take my little man to the White Castle of Fear. I get a sack full of them little motherfuckers. All we've ever heard is how Vader didn't smell the best. Can you imagine what his hog meat smelled like? Probably not good.
No, I can't.
This is why we recommend just kidding. They're not advertising this week.
He is beating this poor kid before the shirt comes off.
Silva, why don't you find a picture of Vader's hog meat?
Why don't you not, Dave?
Put the Jaguars logo on it, and then we'll go AEW.
Yeah, then we'll go unemployment.
Oh, come on now. We're just having fun. If we can't talk about Vader's dick on this program, what are we even doing?
Yeah, what are we doing? Yeah, geez.
There it is.
Yep, there it is.
Found it. Hey, seriously, Tony, don't Google it because you don't want that in your Google history. Vader's dick.
I won't.
Knowing the type of shit you look at, though, you'll see James Earl Jones as Darth Vader and somebody's drawing a cartoon of him wearing out Princess Leia or something.
Jeez.
And she looks back and says, I love you. And he says, I know. How about Vader just sent the referee sailing? I don't think I'd want to fuck with Vader. I think I'd keep all my dick jokes to myself.
You must be way ahead of me here.
Where are you at, Tony?
We just sent the referee sailing at 54-46, 47.
That's where I'm at. He's beating him up in the corner. And now here comes Ricky the Dragon Steamboat.
Yeah, for some reason, anyway. For some reason, you're way ahead of me. But we're at the same time code. I don't get that.
I downloaded it. Are you watching on Peacock or did you download
I'm watching on Peacock.
I downloaded.
Okay. So, yeah. All right.
So, listen, tell us about all your favorite dick pics you've sent through the years.
Why would I send a dick? Look at Big Boss Man. Just
Well,
ball.
back in your day, you had to do like Polaroid style, didn't you?
No. Why would I send a dick pic to anybody, Conrad? What kind
Tell
of
the
stupid,
truth. Tell the
what
truth.
kind of stupid juvenile bullshit is that? Stupid juvenile bullshit. Okay? That's juvenile. Why would I do something like that?
What if Lois missed you when you were in Australia and she
Yeah.
said, "Send me that hog meat, Big
Oh,
Daddy. Let me see the angle of your dangle, Daddy."
Okay. That would be the last thing she would say.
What would she say? What's for dinner? Get home and cook supper?
That's what something like that. Yeah.
But is that code for come bust my cheeks open or?
No, you got it wrong. You're going to age out one day. You just wait.
Hey, let me ask you, now that Lois has the new hip, have you taken it for a test drive yet?
Nope.
When can we get a report on how the new hip handles?
You won't.
What does won't mean?
These days are over. Those days are over, Conrad.
What's over? You're over. You're
No.
a television star. Television stars get their wee wet. It's
No,
what
they
y'all
don't.
do.
No, it's not what we do.
Yeah, it is.
No, you've been watching too many reality shows that aren't real. Meanwhile, back to the fucking match.
Montoya, por favor.
Here's Ricky the Dragon Steamboat.
By the way, I'd be low-key offended if I'm Vince McMahon and I see Ricky the Dragon Steamboat come out here and do all my bullshit.
Uh-huh.
Like Fidel Sierra. Is that the worst wrestling name you've ever seen?
Yeah. David Sierra. Should have
But
just,
Fidel. Like that's what we should start calling Silva. Fidel Silva.
Fidel Sierra was at Kevin's you saw him at Kevin's
He was there?
Yeah, he was. I talked to him.
I don't remember that, but I do remember literally every person who came and tried to talk to you immediately when they left, you said, "Now who the fuck was that?" To me.
That's right.
Now who the fuck was that?
You know what upset me more than anything else about myself? That I did not recognize Hector Guerrero.
Really?
Hector was talking to me for a long time.
Well, in fairness, he didn't have the gobbledygooker shit on or the Lasertron shit.
No,
So
he
how would
didn't.
you know?
No, he didn't. And all of a sudden, I think somebody said it's Hector. I went, no. Oh, God.
Adam says maybe Lois will be able to get her ass up the Batcave stairs now to jump on some Schiavone ding dong.
That ain't gonna happen, Adam. Wrong person. Wrong time.
Why don't you let
wrong-
us just speak it into existence for you? We will not be your hype man for your ween.
Well, there's no more hype in my ween. The hype train has left the station. It's over. Okay. And I'm good with that. All you fuckers, all you guys who are with us here typing in smart ass comments, you're going to get old. Well, I hope you get old. Hope you don't die young. You're going to get old and you're going to see that it just doesn't matter anymore.
What does it doesn't matter anymore mean? You don't like to shoot? I'm gonna be honest with you. Busting makes me feel good. I mean,
Well, that's
just
because
me.
you're still a young man.
I did it twice today.
Jeez, God bless you. But Ricky the Dragon Steamboat is going to the top right now. Crossbody.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm sort of low-key offended he's still doing the flamethrowing shit here in WCW. Like, that's party foul.
That's what?
He existed in WCW without all these gimmicks for years and years and years. He doesn't have to come over now and start breathing fire just because he did on WWE in '91.
Yeah, I know he doesn't, but we're trying to keep up with them, right? So we're trying to have characters now instead of a great wrestler named Ricky Steamboat who had a.
Well, I just want to say, when he wasn't breathing fire in WCW, he was the world champion wrestling Ric Flair. Now that he's breathing fire, he's beaten Fidel Sierra, and he's going to work his way up to the television title.
Oh, well, there. Thank you very much for that, Mr. Booker.
Just saying.
The boss is back.
Put down the fire. Yeah, the boss sucks, by the way. This is another one of those. Just let him be Ray Traylor. Why does he got to be a jackleg Big Boss Man? This is a cosplay Big Boss Man. Just freaking let him be Ray Traylor.
We wanted characters. We wanted to keep up with the WWE. He was the big boss man in the WWE. Ricky he's got some of the streamers on his nightstick.
Look at this fucking guy.
Oh, God.
I mean, Rip Rogers, dude. What a look.
Oh, wow. Hey, you know what? We were in Cincinnati, and I got to talk to Rip.
How many times did he use the word fuck?
I'm not so sure.
I think he used it like a comma.
Yeah.
By the way, just so you know, this version of the Bug Boss Man is now working security at Costco. He trolls the parking lot and tries to make sure nobody's trying to sell that $1.50 hot dog and upcharge it outside the marriage. Tony, so listen, since you did you retire the wienering or did your wife retire the wienering? Like, who tapped out first on wienering?
Wow.
If you had to guess.
I would have to guess that probably I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to say, if she tapped out on the wienering first, I was going to ask, did it ever cross your mind to outsource it?
No.
Okay. That's good.
You do realize this is what happened when we're talking about WCW Saturday Night, not my ween, not Vayner's ween.
Buddy, we're watching a fake Big Boss Man wrestle Rip Rogers.
Yeah.
From 31 years ago.
Yeah, Rip's.
I'm going to have to put some razzle dazzle on this.
You know, Rip, oh, good God, he got kicked in the head. Rip trained a lot of wrestlers.
Yeah, he did. And he taught them how to say fuck. He uses it like a comma.
Well, he and I were talking in Cincinnati. I said, how you doing? He said, well, some days I'm okay. Some days I don't remember how I'm doing, to be honest with you. I said, okay, Rip, you got it, buddy. It was good seeing him, though. I hadn't seen him in, 31 years.
Hey, I don't know if you saw, but did you see the Good Brothers, Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, have been released by WWE?
Really? I have not.
They're going to have to, they might be back on the road, might do a little outsourcing again.
Oh, wow.
Excited to see what they do next.
Two of my favorite guys.
The best.
Yep.
Such great dudes.
Two of the best dudes. Really, really, really are.
By the way, Dave has found Tony's last Ding Dong appearance on TV. There it is. Who could forget the time you welcomed Bryan Danielson but into the squared circle for the perhaps one of the last times, and you forgot to zip up and just showed everybody your Montoya por favor.
Well, you know what? Even if I didn't zip, you wouldn't be able to see it. Meanwhile, back to WCW Saturday Night, you stupid son of a bitch.
That's not true, because if we were using our iPhone, we could just use our fingers like this and go wee, 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 and make it bigger. Wee, wee, wee. It does that sound effect when you stretch it out, too.
Oh, God.
It's like a slinky. You play with it. It gets harder. It falls down the stairs, you know.
As Big Boss Man say, I apologize for that Conrad Thompson, but me being from Cobb County, Georgia, realizing where motherfuckers from Alabama talk. They talk out their fucking ass. They lie. They lie is what they do. Absolutely. Not only that, they think they're a basketball school. Hell, they weren't even a football school this year. That's right. And if anybody got a problem with that, you can come see me or Vader's Ween later. Something to that effect.
Where is Georgia ranked in basketball?
Oh, they're unranked.
I'm just looking to see. I mean, you're
They're
talking
unranked.
a lot of shit about how
They got up to 23, I do believe, and then lost 3 in a row.
I'm trying to find them. Oh, they're 11. He normally only goes to the top 10, but hey, that's cool. We got a question here from Adam. He says, why didn't WCW have a Pizza Man character inspired by Jim Herd? That is interesting. If we had a goddamn Candy Man, why couldn't we have a goddamn Pizza Man? We could have put him in an Emo's pizza outfit and talk about how much fucking cheese they had on their gimmicks. Like, you could have done a lot of different things with that. Why didn't you guys ever do, just to troll Jim Herd, a Pizza Man character? I mean, this is the era where you had Avoid the Noid and all that and maybe he could have even put the pizza on the line where if he can't beat you in 30 minutes, it's free.
That'd have been great.
Could have done a lot of cool shit with that.
Adam, I think that's a great question. I don't know why we didn't. I mean, we should have. Didn't they have Dusty deliver pizzas?
They did.
WWE? Yes, they did.
Hey, you remember Brian Pillman Jr.?
Yes.
When was the last time you saw a picture of him? Have you seen one recently?
I have not. I have not followed his career since he left.
I got something you got to see.
Okay.
I'm going to have old Wikipedia go find a picture
Dave,
of present day Brian Pillman Jr. because his facial hair game, you got to see to believe. Speaking of see to believe,
Yeah.
as you and I or as folks are listening to this,
Yeah.
last night, Dustin Rhodes, I'm not making this up, his dog was booked in Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, I know, at the Westminster Dog Show or whatever.
It's the WrestleMania of dog shows
Right.
at Madison Square Garden, and Dustin Rhodes' goddamn dog was booked in Madison Square Garden on Monday and Tuesday night. How crazy is that, Tony?
I know. Yeah. Have you seen this dog?
Beast, and he's a motherfucking horse.
He is a fucking monster. You're right.
It's unbelievable. I mean, what's bigger, Dustin's dog or Vader's dong? It's got to be close.
Hey, let's go to Dave Wikipedia. Dave Wikipedia.
He's gonna put the gimmick up on the fuck deal.
I want to hear Dave do the click, 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 click.
Oh, what's wrong with you?
Hi, Mr. Schiavone. I'm sorry I can't pop up my camera right now because I'm working on this picture for you. You're going to be blown away. Ding!
Okay.
Is that a typewriter?
Yeah. Yeah.
Man, the way all those clicking noises with his mouth, it sounds like he's getting some outsourcing right now.
I don't know where you are, but Johnny B. Bad, as I'm watching it, has just put the kissy lip on
Jane Fonda, and then he busted all over her face. Did you see that confetti go everywhere? He shot his master blaster. Look, he just busted all over everybody.
Oh God. Oh God.
Man, look at that dancing. You got I need you for Halloween, the Halloween edition of Dynamite this year, where you promise me you'll at least consider dressing like Johnny B. Bad.
I will not.
What if I got you all the gimmicks?
No.
I mean, I know a guy who's got all of his outfits.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if you came out on TV with that robe that says when you're hot,
Yeah.
and you kicked off Dynamite wearing that shit,
Yeah.
what if they shot it from the back and then you just looked over your shoulder and said, "It's Wednesday. You know what that means." And shook that bootay. Come on now.
That'd be pretty good, wouldn't it? That'd be very entertaining.
It would be awesome. And if you can't sell it, can we have Harley Cameron do it instead?
Oh, wow.
I'm good either way. She needs a Schiavone puppet with a little button on the fur coat down at the bottom.
That'd be great.
And whenever she touches it, it just goes, wee, wee, wee. It'd be great.
Wee.
Wee, wee, wee. You reckon fucking Silva is ever going to find that picture of Brian?
I don't know,
I
Dave.
Google the shit. What the is he drawing, the motherfucker?
Dave, would you please get back on your keyboard? Let's hear some more keyboard action here. Dave.
I mean, we're watching. Look at that sign. That's my favorite sign in the history of wrestling. Rick Rude, boo, but two smiley faces in the two O's. I don't know why that tickles me, but it's the greatest sign in the history of wrestling.
Yeah.
By the way, speaking of Dustin, tonight, boys and girls, in Austin, Texas, tickets are on sale now, AEWTIX.com. That nothing happening son of a bitch, MJF finally gets his comeuppance, and Dustin Rhodes is going to kick his ass from pillar to post. Be there to see it in person. Tell the world you were there when Dustin finally shut MJF up. Or not.
No, it's we're taping on Tuesday to air on Wednesday.
Oh, my bad. Fuck it. It was yesterday, God damn it. And we hope you saw it.
But if you're watching live here tonight as we're recording, then we'll see you tomorrow night.
Yeah, absolutely. Watch the shit tomorrow or tonight, whatever the fuck. AEW, rah, rah. My bad. I'm trying to shill over here.
You did a great job.
Just got the day wrong.
Yeah, that's okay.
So you're flying out on Tuesday morning for a Tuesday evening show. You're big time Jones.
Well, I always fly out the morning of.
Listen, are you ready for this? I'm going to do a countdown and I'm going to reveal to you the greatest facial hair in the history of God's green earth and professional wrestling. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Brian Pillman Jr.
Oh, come on.
What?
He painted that on.
No, what are you suggesting? Are you saying that he can't grow facial hair? He's not a man?
That's not what I'm saying at all, motherfucker.
That's what you said.
I'm just saying he painted that on.
What do you mean he painted? He's a wrestler. He's not Picasso.
He used What I use?
What do you paint your facial hair on?
Well, I use Just for Men for my beard.
Jeff's from it. You get it from Jeff Jarrett.
Actually, I use another kind now, but yeah, that's what he did. He had somebody, groom it like that, and then he highlighted it with the darkening for the beard. But anyway, that's fucking goofy. Well, what name
Would you
did
let that guy, if that guy rang your doorbell and said, Mr. Schiavone, I'm here to pick up Lori, what would your response be?
my response would be, she's no longer here. Go on about your way. By the way, you got any Girl Scout cookies you want to sell?
Okay. Hey, by the way,
Mhm.
she posted a picture of those little Rugrats. Does she have the cutest kids that your family ever produced? My God, those
Yeah.
are adorable little bastards.
They really are. Little Noah,
Goodness gracious.
little Noah, and little Lila. There's something else, and of course,
Unbelievable.
yeah.
I can't believe she's related to you and can crank out good looking kids like that.
Same
I
way
give
with
all the credit to Lois.
Same way with Matt Schiavone. He's got two beautiful little girls. Yeah, we're very fortunate.
I
Have a lot-
I was blown away when I saw something over the weekend and I just couldn't help but comment and say, my goodness. I mean, what a precious little family she's got now.
Yeah, she does. She's a good mother. She does a great job. Hey, this is a pretty high profile match here.
And by the way, they give it plenty of time. I mean, there's 15 minutes left and they're going to go all the way through, Tony.
Oh, wow. You mean they're going to wrestle a Broadway on TV?
Well, I'm not going to say it like that exactly, but they do get plenty of time. It got 2 stars and it was written as the best match on the show, but there were several dull moments and the repeated spots didn't help the match either. Bad was competitive, which was good for him, but they struggled to fill time for the match and the slow action wasn't all that entertaining.
Right.
I don't know why, but I kind of had that experience as a fan back in the day with Rick Rude. I loved Rick Rude's WWF work, but I felt like in WCW, like even some of the matches that my friends really enjoyed with him and Ricky Steamboat, I just thought were too long. And I felt like at times he was maybe trying to prove that, he could wrestle long matches like a Ric Flair. Maybe he felt like that's what the main event spot or that belt required. But I was a fan of Rick Rude when he got his shit done in, 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes. I don't think we need 20 minutes out of Rick Rude.
Well, maybe he was the type of wrestler that could not lead a 20-minute match. Some could. I mean, Ric Flair was obviously one of the best that ever could do it,
Oh, yeah, for sure. I'm not arguing that.
Right. But maybe Rude was not of that ilk. Maybe he was more of a guy that could call a match that went 5 or 6 minutes instead of 20. That Rude's calling it here because he's the veteran. He's the heel. He's talking to him right now, as a matter of fact, as with that rear chin lock. So maybe he's the type of guy that couldn't do that. But
One
still,
of my all-time favorites, Rick Rude, man.
oh my God. How could you not like Rick Rude?
It is interesting to think too, because they have this really flamboyant gimmick for Mark Mero, but imagine if they had just packaged him as a Golden Gloves boxer and you had an arm wrestling champ like Rick Rude, a legit badass with that reputation, against a Golden Gloves boxer. The way the match was put together and fans felt about it would be totally different. But kudos to Mark Mero being able to pull off even a crazy over the top character like this.
Sure. There's some pretty good stuff going on here now. I mean, I know there's some slow parts of it.
No, I dig it.
Yeah.
It's just longer than I expected because I just am so used to with modern wrestling, your TV matches, man, they can be pretty fast sometimes.
Yeah, they can. And, when I hear, I guess what you were reading was from Meltzer, right?
I think so. Yes, sir.
Yeah. When you hear slow parts,
It can't all be high spots, guys.
exactly.
Hey, by the way, I want to give a shout out. I know that there's a lot of our listeners who really primarily just focus on the nostalgia of wrestling. And man, we love you for it. Thank you for joining us. But if it's been a while since you've watched AEW, I want to really encourage you. Watch last Wednesday's show from Atlanta and then this past Saturday's show, Collision. I thought those are the two of the very best AEW shows I've seen in a while. We had really hot crowds, really great matches, really strong promos, really great angles. I think AEW's really hit a stride recently where I'm pretty fired up about this. I know it's not a pay-per-view, it's a television special, but this feels like a pay-per-view level event, this Australia show. I mean, I'm pretty fired up for this one, but those 2 television shows last week, I thought were tremendous, man. The Ricochet Swerve match was fantastic.
Yeah.
John Moxley's promo on Saturday was unbelievable. I love the Mercedes Harley Cameron segment. There's been some really, really good stuff in AEW this last week.
You know, everybody, not everybody, but most of the people I talked to backstage after the show on Saturday this past weekend, when we were outside of Houston, the people that I respect their opinion,
Yes.
everybody thought like 5 or 6 people said we've had 2 really, really good shows.
Yes, in a row, like really strong.
Right. And listen, sometimes we don't. We've had shows that haven't been that good, but the last 2 have been very good. Now I'm even going to go back to the Saturday a week ago. I don't know if you remember Cope's promo that he did about talking to the camera, talking about Moxley.
Yes.
It's one of the best promos that I've seen in a long time. And I told Copeland, I said, listen, that's how you sell a main event. That's how you sell an angle. Where he was talking about, you know, how he was busting his ass when John Moxley had his hair dyed purple or whatever it was. And it was good stuff. So yeah, we got some real pros right now that are in the ring, like obviously like Copeland, Claudio, Moxley, Pac, and I know I'm gonna and the women's division we talked about so much. So we've got some great performers doing some great stuff right now. So yeah, good stuff.
I want to encourage everybody who maybe checked it out before, and then, life goes on. We all get busy. Go watch last week's AEW shows. Both of those TV shows, hot crowds. I even saw Dave Meltzer say, man, they should bottle this crowd and take them on the road. And I know that's silly, but it really adds a lot to it. And listen, I've got my favorites, and there was a few where I'm like, I don't know about this, but I watched it anyway. And I was like, damn, that exceeded expectations. I thought it was 2 really good shows in a row, and I'm fired up to see what happens this week. So, if you haven't seen it in a while, check it out. AEW is on a roll right now.
Yeah, and I've been disappointed about my own work. You know how I am about my own work.
You're your own worst critic.
Yeah, and I've been saying some wrong things as of late, and I was so excited about the show Saturday in Houston. I was so excited. We're hot, bam, bam, bam. We go backstage. Let's go. What's going on? And Lance Archer throws somebody into a door, and I call him Lance Storm. The fuck?
Yeah, I saw that, and I saw that the hand had or the shovel had a fun time pointing that out on social media.
Yeah,
I thought that was funny. By the way, speaking of Lance Archer, I don't know if you saw this, but my man, he got in a little trouble today. Did you see this?
I did not.
He tweeted this out tonight, right before we went live here.
Okay.
My SUV was stolen today, middle of the day at a Costco in Duncanville, Texas. Now, what were you doing there? Are you outsourcing? If you live in the Dallas-Fort Worth area and happen to see a 2018 white Yukon Denali, he lists his license plate, with 24-inch rims and white wall tires and extra dark window tint, please report to Duncanville PD. Man, that's not something you hear all the time. Dudes getting their car stolen. Shout out to Lance. I hope they find his ride, dude.
Lance Archer? That was from Lance Archer?
Lance Archer had his fucking Denali stolen today.
Damn. I need to reach out.
Listen, if you don't want to go to Australia, there's easier ways to get out of the shit.
Yeah.
Lance, you don't have to fake a carjacking.
Wait till that motherfucker who stole that car realizes who he stole it from.
No shit, right? If Arn Anderson would have been in that car, it wouldn't have been stolen. We know what he would have had. He keeps that thing on him.
These guys are having a very good match. Now, there may have been some slow moments, but they are having a very, very good match.
What do you think's going on with Rick Rude's elbow here?
I don't know. That could have been
good.
I don't know. Could have been some staph infection, maybe, possibly. How'd you never know, man? You never know. But these fans are really getting into this. These women down front are. I can tell you that. We're not showing Jane Fonda and Ted Turner enough.
I don't even think they're still there.
They may have left. You're right.
Yeah, I was going to say at that point they'd be like, we're in and out.
Yeah.
Hey, as a reminder, this is Rick Rude's last year of his in-ring career. Remember, this is the year where he got fucked up.
Yeah. Wow. The last year of his in-ring career.
Isn't that crazy to think about?
It is. God, down through the years, so many great performers. Just,
I guess it was May. So this is February. So March, April, May. We got 3 months left with Rick Rude, and that's it. Lloyd's of London is going to give him that payout.
And when did he pass away?
Years later, 1998, 1999.
Okay. Yeah, I went to his funeral.
April 20th, 1999, the same day as Columbine, believe it or not.
Good God.
You know what's wild too? He was 40 years old.
My God, really?
Yeah, passed away at 40, bud.
Oh, brother.
Just gone way, way too early.
You're not kidding.
Can you imagine how much fun he would have been having in this social media era, this podcast era? He would have been a podcast superstar. He would have been trolling people so hard on social media, talking so much shit. Can you imagine the money he would have drawn for Blue Chew? It would have been unbelievable. Did you see Gerald Briscoe recently found a pair of his tights in his shed?
No.
I'm not making this up. Gerald Briscoe has a shed behind his house in Tampa. And he's just collected wrestling shit all those years and just threw shit in the shed. And I mean, from when he found the documents where he sold the Vince for Black Saturday. He's got the actual legal agreement. And he found all the preliminary stuff when he was involved at WrestleMania 2 and WrestleMania 3 and 4 and 5 and 6. And then he's even got weird stuff that was never released, like pins for WrestleMania 7 at the LA Coliseum that ultimately got moved and didn't happen.
Right.
But one of the things he found that got everybody excited online was he found a pair of Rick Rude's airbrush tights. He found Hulk Hogan's tights from WrestleMania 9, where he autographed them and said one last time. Because at the time, people thought that was his last title win, his last WrestleMania. He even found a pair of Hogan's ring used boots, all in his fucking shed. They've been there for 30 years.
Jesus Christ. That's a treasure trove is what that is.
No doubt. So we started doing a series for it over at adfreeshows.com called Shed Treasures, where we're breaking down, like, he's got the chair that Lawrence Taylor sat in at Royal Rumble 95, where they kicked off his WrestleMania angle. Just little things like that I think tell a story. And anytime you can hear stories from Mr. Briscoe, that's a good time.
In the Shed with Gerald Briscoe.
Come on now. If only he had a goddamn 6-man tag, you know?
Yeah. We could get one built for you and tell you that it was it, so you shut the fuck up. Let me get Jeff Jones on that.
You're hurtful sometimes, you know?
Here comes the punch. And the fans pop for it.
We're definitely in a different time code because I'm at 123.52 and I got Johnny B. Bad going to the top rope right now.
Yeah, I just saw the punch. Now he's going to the top. You had seen the punch. Now I got him going to the top rope.
Coach Keith says, Tony, how do you feel about a Rude babyface turn if he didn't get hurt? He was going to turn face at Slamboree against Vader. Could that have worked? A babyface Rick Rude?
Yeah, I think so. I think Rick Rude could have made anything work. And of course, you know, going against Vader, obviously, he'd have been a good babyface, I think. Oh.
Slamboree not Slamboree, but Super Brawl 1994 is right around the corner. We're just about a week out from that. It's going to be on February 20th, 1994. We would have seen Harlem Heat defeat Thunder and Lightning on that show. Jim Steele would beat the Equalizer. Terry Taylor would beat Diamond Dallas Page. We'd see Johnny B. Bad pick up a win over Jimmy Garvin. We'd see Lord Steven Regal go nearly 30 minutes with Arn Anderson for the TV title. We'd see Cactus Jack and Max Payne wrestle the Nasty Boys to a DQ. Then we've got a Thunder Cage match with Sting, Brian Pillman, and Dustin Rhodes taking on Steve Austin, Rick Rude, and Paul Orndorff. And we're hearing from Harley Race now about what the main event will be. in just a week or so. It'll be Ric Flair defending his world title against Big Van Vader, who has Harley race with him. It all happens in the confines of a Thunder Cage match. And they're announcing here that the special guest referee is the Boss.
Oh,
and he's
wow.
telling the Boss, hey, you keep your extra large posterior out of the way of my man, Big Van Vader.
Who's the baddest man in God's green earth? And that's why I've got to
believe it. He's got a picture of his little rascal. Tell him about it.
tell him about your ween, Leon. Yeah,
Schiavone, when you get on top of your wife, Lois, she feels no pain. She fears no Schiavone, no little buttons, no little fur coats, not in the White Castle.
I'm the baby bull. Paul Orndorff in this building. You kick my ass. You won't do it again.
I don't even know where to go with that
I
at that
don't
point.
either,
You know, we're talking about the guy's dick pics and the fact that he took an L, and I think his son listens to the podcast. So let me apologize to Mr. Jesse Vader now.
Yeah, Jesse.
And on that note,
Your
it
dad
feels
will-
like
Yeah, it's out of time.
it's about that time.
Yeah, listen, Vader was one of the greats. He was. Great heel, bad man. Okay. Unfortunately, we've got a bad man with us named Dave Silva.
Yeah.
Dave, would you come on here with us one final time, video wise?
Yes, sir.
Have you ever thought about using Just for Men to cover up that gray fucking beard?
I'm not allowed to. Several conversations.
Really?
Not allowed to.
Wow.
Well,
And-
what does not allowed mean? The police are involved and they're not allowing you to?
Yes, the police, known as Sergeant Silva, Heather
Oh.
Silva.
Oh, the
It-
Punani police.
It's the Nookie police. I got you.
Well, let me just say this. If you dyed it, not dye it, because I know that's not going to happen, but if you dyed it, you might could outsource it.
Oh, don't mind if I do. Let me look up Montoya. Por favor.
For all of you outsourcers out there, see you next week on What Happened When. We come to you Wednesday on Westwood One. What Monday? We come to you on
Patron, patreon.com/WHW Monday. And of course, adfreeshows.com. I feel no pain.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson here to tell you a little more about what adfreeshows.com is all about. Get early, ad-free access to more than a dozen of your favorite wrestling podcasts every single week, starting at just $9. That's less than 20 cents an episode each month. And yes, you can listen to them all directly through Apple Podcasts or your regular podcast apps. How easy is that? Ad-free shows also has thousands of hours worth of bonus content and docuseries like Title Chase, Eric Fires Back, Conversations with Conrad, and The Insiders. Plus new series like The Book with David Crockett, Monday Mailbags with Mike Chioda and Nick Patrick, and a whole lot more. And you want to talk about early? You can't get any earlier than listening to the shows live. You can be a part of the live studio audience as we record the podcast. Plus, ride shotgun alongside your favorite childhood heroes for live watch-alongs, Q&As, and other interactive experiences every single month. Come on now, see for yourself what thousands of other wrestling fans from around the world have discovered, that adfreeshows.com is the best value in wrestling. Check it out today, and hey, when you do, the first week is completely free. adfreeshows.com.